Hey, I'm Vito Gesualdi here with John Beliss, the executive producer of the new MMO. What would you call it, an MMO? What would you call it?
It's definitely an MMORPG, yeah.
MMORPG RaiderZ. And I gotta tell you, we just had a quick playthrough of this game. I had a blast. Now, what can you tell us about RaiderZ? What kind of makes this one differ from the traditional MMO experience?
So, RaiderZ is an action MMORPG.
Right.
It's a non-target based MMO. So that means that you can't just click on a monster and face roll on 1 through 6 and win.
Right.
You actually need to have some timing, some skill. You need to know how to use your character and be effective. More importantly, a lot of other action MMOs or action RPGs are heavily session based. You know, you hop in and out of dungeons through hubs.
Right.
But RaiderZ is a full, true, persistent world. So run around, explore. There's no channel system.
Oh, wow.
Everybody's in the same world. So it's a really exciting world to explore, for sure.
It was definitely a blast, and again on the action, you know, it's very, you know, in depth. Here you're rolling around, you know, you're getting in there with your sword or whatever your character's using, and really, you know, you have to have a bit more skill, a bit more strategy when engaging in these battles.
Yeah, and part of the reason why the game feels a bit more, you know, three-dimensional in terms of gameplay, is because of the NVIDIA physics engine. You know, it really adds a lot. You know, it makes the game feel more natural. The animations feel more natural. When a weapon falls on the ground, it just doesn't land on its side and just sit up there. You know, it actually falls and, you know, bounces a little bit. And by the same token, when you're fighting these monsters, you know, they can actually grab you, grapple you, smash you into the ground, and it really adds an element of epicness to these monster encounters.
I was definitely getting slammed to the ground, I think, by, what was it, that giant stone golem?
Yeah. I mean, the monsters are crazy, too. The monster design is really creative. It really allows for us to create new and interesting encounters. Instead of, you know, get the boss at 30% and then we enter phase 3, it's more like, you know, learn the attacks that the monster is doing and learn what parts of the monster you can actually break off and use against them.
Yeah, it's very varied in the different ways that you're taking out these monsters. I know one, we were actually able to grab a piece of him and start ramming back at him with it. The other one had a kind of...
Which piece, but...
No. And then another one, you know, we had to punch out his chest or whatever and grab pieces of that and whip it at his head. Yeah. So
it really provides for some interesting encounters. Again, you know, it's easy to just make an epic monster, make it big, and say this is an epic encounter. But it's a whole nother thing to give players new ways to interact with these monsters and give monsters new ways to interact with characters and really make these battles feel more interactive and more epic.
That's awesome. Now, when is RaiderZ supposed to be coming out? Do you have a window for this one yet?
So despite how polished the game looks,
it looks good already. I say give it to me now. I want to play it.
We're actually still about a half year to 8 months out.
All right.
So we're not going to be going into closed beta until early 2012, and we're going to be going live hopefully in Q2 2012. So if you're interested in playing or learning more about the game, you can go register at raiders.perfectworld.com or just go to perfectworld.com and you can register. You can get into the beta early. You know, we may launch earlier than that depending on how things go.
I think people are definitely going to be wanting to jump on this one. And since it's a Perfect World title, it is going to be free to play.
Yeah, that is the important thing to remember. Even though it's an Unreal 3 engine game, even though it has NVIDIA physics and it looks great, it's free. Yes.
There's no better bargain than
Absolutely,
that.
yeah.
Well, awesome. We're definitely going to be looking for RaiderZ coming out for the PC and a couple, you know, down the line, but we're definitely looking forward to this one. Thanks so much for talking to us.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Awesome.